Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doctor Who Reviews. Halloween has come a week early because we are reviewing State of Decay, the Fourth Doctor serial. The Fourth Doctor serial with Romana and Adric in tow. And to discuss it, I'm joined by my two usual co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, what the fuck? Jerry! You're obsessed with mirrors but none appear in this serial. It's Freezing Inferno.
Well, none appear in this serial. What? I don't get the reference, so...
Cat does, that's all that matters.
Cat does, okay. You're gonna have to explain that one to me later, or now, or whatever. After Cat is...
Just a second.
Okay. Just take your time, Good job, Rain, you broke her.
I'm dying of laughter to my virtual right. She has more bite than a great white. It's Cat.
Hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is this?
That's a song that Chris linked to us.
Oh, I linked that to you.
Yeah, you linked it, and as soon as I saw that, I knew what my intro for Jerry was this week.
Okay, now I understand. Okay.
For those who might be confused, years and years ago, Chris introduced me to a song called "What the Fuck Cat," and it is, in my opinion, it's better without context because it's freaking hilarious. But apparently, it's a series of weird comments that they compiled together and then put into song form. All I can say is, go try to find it and listen to it. It is the most hilarious thing ever.
Also, there are no mirrors in the serial because the vampires are afraid of them, obviously.
And
Funnily enough, there's a mirror in the song, though.
Yeah, there is.
Hey, look at that.
Even in the stories that don't contain them, I can't get away from it. Just when they think I'm out, they pull me back in.
I didn't make a mirror reference this time. You started it.
I know.
I'm totally sending this one to Chris. She's gonna get a kick out of it.
So, State of Decay.
I mean, my work here is done, so what do you think about State of Decay?
My work here is done, he says in the intro to his own podcast.
Listen, you don't have to drive to Exeter and back in the space of a day this week.
No. Where?
I'm having a good day.
It's in the south.
I see.
Me being from the north, that's a long-ass drive.
Oh. Like 8 hours? 7 hours?
4 there and 4 back. So yeah, about 8 hours.
4 and 4 back? That's nothing!
And but I'm not going to say what I'm going to do in Exeter, because business
You're going
stuff.
to do... Oh, okay. Yes. Businessy
I don't talk about that on this podcast. So...
Oh, State of Decay.
Yeah, the second of the E-Space trilogy.
Which we previously did the third E-Space story, Warrior's Gate. Way back
we're going backwards.
Yeah, way back when we started doing classic Doctor Who reviews for this thing, because Warrior's Gate is my favorite Tom Baker story. It's got a shitload of mirrors and Gonzo, and I love it. State of Decay is very solid and very interesting, and the backstory behind it is a little neat. So, it's a holdover, a relic, if you will, from an earlier time of Doctor Who, because it is written by legendary Doctor Who writer, who we haven't really discussed that much on the podcast, Terrance Dicks. We did the 5 Doctors, which he did, but I honestly can't recall if we've done anything that he's done for the earlier years
We
of the
haven't.
show.
We touched on his contributions to Doctor Who through the Master, but that's about it.
Okay, yeah. So this was actually written around 1977. So this would be around Leela, the Leela era of the show. But it was shelved because at the time the BBC were doing a serious adaptation to Count Dracula, and they were like, we don't need Tom Baker in his hat and scarf taking the piss out of Dracula when we got this vampires and shit. When we got the serious adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula on the horizon. So they shelved it, and it stayed on the shelf for a while. And then 1980 rolls around, new script editor comes in, Christopher Bidmead. He's like, what the fuck? Oh my god, what am I going to write in this? What am I going to add in this series? I got none of these scripts work. Oh, hey, what's this? Vampire script from Terrance Dicks? That can work. And so they got Terrance Dicks in, and even though it might have been like pulling teeth, they eventually managed to jury-rig the E-Space arc and the general tone of Season 18 into a spooky vampire story from 1977. The result being State of Decay.
I mean, it worked.
It works.
My
It's
opinion.
good. It's a good story. I like it. Shall we go into the specifics?
Let's just do that. So we open
Yes.
with a really sinister-looking medieval castle. And ominous music playing in the background, and already we're off to a good start here.
As ominous as 1980s do synth can be, but yeah.
It's fairly ominous. It works.
It sets the mood.
And right away we have vampires.
Well, we don't know that they're vampires yet.
Yes, we do.
Well, I didn't.
Come on, it's a medieval castle. Gothic people on a
Okay,
throne.
okay, yes, it was a little obvious.
Just a bit. But there's three of them. There's two on the throne, the king and the queen, and a third one. And the third one talks to the captain of the guards, whose name is Habris, I think.
Yeah,
I keep
Habris.
my brain kept crediting it to hubris. Maybe that's
Same.
why he's called that. He's sent to the selection. This can only end badly.
Well.
What's that? Well, let's look at the peasants, the common folk, the working men who are lining up for this selection.
You know, morons.
You picked up on it. Well,
But of course.
I mean, of course, well, they kind of are, but it's a feature, not a bug, as we'll discover.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've got the leader of the village. His name is Ivo, and he's getting all the people and getting them ready for the selection. And he tells his son to just go sit in the corner. Habers comes in, and he's like, all right, you, hey, you're in the corner, come here. Oh, shit. And it's just like, he doesn't give a shit. He's like, okay, yeah. So the kid is like, oh, you're oppressive. This is bullshit. And Habers just slaps him, and he's like, now, you know what has to be done. And then Ivo just like goes along with it, and they take his son away.
Aww.
But
Never
Habris
to be
does make
seen
a
again.
promise. Habris does make some sort of promise to Ivo.
Yeah, he says that he's going to try his best to make sure that the son's named Carl, apparently, that Carl is going to become a guard. But Ivo and his wife Marta both kind of know that if he goes to serve the Lords, more than likely he'll never be seen or heard from again. Which, you know, dun dun dun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll see what I can do in this case. Is basically just it's a platitude. It's basically, you know that shit ain't gonna happen, but I'm just saying it to try and make you feel better, because shit don't change around here.
And me. He's trying to make himself feel better.
Maybe.
He's trying to
So-
absolve himself of guilt.
Maybe it is. So, cut to the TARDIS, and the Doctor and Romana restate, for those of you who might have missed the previous story, which we have, considering we haven't covered them in the show.
Yeah,
we
we're
sent
kind of we're river songing it and going backwards in time.
Which we've done before, but yeah. So the basic gist is that the Doctor and Romana have accidentally flown through a wormhole called a CVE, and it has taken them into the parallel universe known as E-Space, and now they're trying to find their way out.
They are,
And also, to Kat's immense joy, K9 is.
Yeah.
Yay!
K9 is here, and he identifies one habitable planet in range of the TARDIS. Just one. And he does some more scanning, and he says, "Oh, this has got advanced technology, this planet, but primitive life forms, which is surely a contradiction in terms."
Well, you know, it could be a post-apocalypse. Like,
True, and that whole difference is played out throughout the serial
oh yeah.
to very good effect.
He also mentions that he only found one settlement. As far as he can tell, there's nothing else on the planet. Just that one little bit of life.
Yeah.
Anyway, they land. The Doctor hops out and he pulls out a telescope and he's just checking out. And, he sees the spooky tower and castle and the little village. It's like, oh, neat. Let's go check that out.
He sees a bad model shot.
Bad models in this serial? No.
I mean, it's so obviously a miniature, and it kind of hurts because it's like, you guys could do better than
The
that.
tower looks fine. There's blood on the side of it, which is a nice touch.
Right.
But the actual village, no.
No.
So
it's
the
fine.
Dr. and Romana, they head off to investigate, but back in the TARDIS, oh hey, it's Adric,
We have a stowaway on board.
who at the end of the last story, full circle, we never see it happen in full circle. This is just a reveal here in State of Decay. He's stowed away on the TARDIS from his home planet, which they visited, and he's stowed away. Yeah, he's stowed away, and he's here.
I'm probably the only person in the world who actually likes Adric.
I mean, he's gotten a lot of flack. I mean, he's fine. Like, I don't hate him.
If this is your first
It's like,
exposure
he's
to
a child
Adric,
actor, and even I like him.
if this is your first exposure to Adric, I can kind of see why people don't like him.
Kinda. Yeah, but also, this is this is technically the first exposure to Adric because this is the first Adric story. This is
He's
the
a
first-
child. Of course
Yeah.
he's going to be a selfish little
Apart
shit.
from Full Circle.
He's
but
a
yes.
child.
I mean, I also consider it's the first story, and it's a holdover script from 1977 that they have had to crowbar Adric into.
Very
so
true.
they're like, fuck, I don't know. He does some
Chosen
double-crossing
one.
bullshit.
Yeah, chosen one. So we do get a scene between K9 and Adric, and they don't exactly hit it off very well. K9 refers to Adric as a small, immature humanoid, which is bang on the money.
I love Adric's logic here. He's just like, well, he explains he's a stowaway, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna go outside. Negative, stay here. But I'm a stowaway, K9. Affirmative. So the sooner I leave, the better. Computing. Assessment is accurate. He just leaves. This is great. Oh, poor little K9.
Seriously,
But-
how could you not like Adric? He managed to outsmart K9.
So the Doctor and Romana are walking. They find a peasant who promptly shits himself and runs away.
Oh, God. Yes. Good grief. This poor man.
Who even was that?
A peasant.
Yeah. But it's just,
Well, yeah, but I don't know if he ever shows up again.
He doesn't.
Probably not.
He's an extra whose job is to flee in terror. He does a very good job of it.
So he just imagine he's just like at the end of the story. It's just you'll never believe I ran into some strangers. What happened? Oh, then the end of the story. But
Dave, you are not going to believe what you've just missed in the past hour.
Dave, where have you been? And you smell like shit.
so Ivo and Habris are back at the village, and people are going out to work in the fields as peasants do. And Ivo's like, "Hey, man, if you gave us more food, we would have more energy to do more work for you, you know?" And Habris is just like, "Oh, I'll see what I can do." Again, code for, we ain't gonna do shit!
Nope.
But they're interrupted by a stranger in a scarf.
And the
What?
reaction to the stranger in the scarf is very interesting. They're mistaken for lords. By
Which-
both
I assume it's the
Habris
quality of their
and
clothing.
Ivo. Yeah, absolutely. They do look like otherworldly and high quality clothing. And Habris is like bowing to him. Ivo is like being respectful, but the doctor's not having any of it. No, I'm not a lord, just the doctor. Will do.
He's taking charge and asking questions as he does. Who are you guys? Where's the other villages? There's nobody else. What? Weird. But who are the
Asking
lords?
stuff like, "Hey, are there any scientists around here?" Because they're still trying to get out of E space, and they're
Oh, yeah.
hoping that there would be somebody here who'd be like, "Oh yeah, you just turn left at Albuquerque and you'll be there."
Well, yeah, as it turns out, it's turn left at the mirror with the lion man, but that's a story later.
Yeah.
God.
But yeah, Tom Baker's just like, you got any scientists? Witch wagglers? Witch doctors? A bunch of other stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, such things are forbidden. Oh, okay. And then they ask about the lords, and we find out that the lords protect the peasants here from the wasting.
Oh,
Which, this is a joke I made at the end of the last podcast, but the wasting was supposed to be the original title that script editor wanted for the story. And it was objected upon on the grounds that every critic would say, the wasting? Oh, I guess they're wasting our time.
I can also understand why they didn't go with that title, because while the wasting is mentioned a few times, doesn't really have a whole lot to do with anything.
Neither does State of Decay, to be fair, but it does tie in later. State of Decay.
No, State of Decay works for me.
I can
see,
see
my
how
guess
the
is that
wasting
the wasting is actually just a lie that they tell them. Because my assumption is that if anybody tries to escape, they just send the bats after them, and the person is like dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, nobody even really tries to escape because it's we're going to get into these things, but I can see how the wasting would work for the metaphor that State of Decay is going for, but State of Decay worked very well as well.
Ooh, actually, idea. Later on, we do see what bodies look like after these guys have gotten to them. Mm-hmm. So maybe whenever somebody tries to escape, they send the bats after them, they drain them completely, and then they're just left like wasted away husks.
Hey,
quite possibly.
There you go.
Yeah.
I solved it.
Yeah. So the guard captain he goes away,
ahead.
and it leaves Ivo with the Doctor and Romana, and Ivo starts to think he's being tested for loyalty by the Doctor. And when he's asked, how long have the laws ruled over you? Forever. Ooh. And he's being literal here. Since they can remember, the lords have been in charge.
And even before him, the lords have been in charge.
Yes.
And then the Doctor and Romana head off to check out some other stuff. And this is the wild thing. Remember how we said high technology, but primitive setting? Ivo walks to the wall, opens up a box, and pulls out a fucking walkie-talkie.
Yeah. And he speaks to someone called Kalmar and informs them of two strangers heading his way.
Yeah. And so, as the Doctor and Romana head off, they are accosted by men in hoods.
Yes, hooded figures.
Goody.
And then we get a wild scene back at the castle with the three lords.
So yeah. Fabris comes back and reports to them about other lords in the village, and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Strangers in my castle? It's more likely than you think.
But Akon is intrigued, and so decides to send his servants of the night to investigate.
We have to talk about this.
If the three living inside of the big tower castle didn't show that they were vampires, the fact that they're overacting is definitely showing they're vampires.
Also, the fact that they superimpose a bat over Orcon's face as he's speaking.
Well,
Yeah.
that too.
That too. And so the Doctor and Romana are taken, prisoner for now, but they get out of it pretty quickly, and led down to the base of what is a rebellion.
It's a cave.
And this is a pretty shit rebellion, I have to say.
It is, but we can improve that over the course of the story. But
yes.
we're in a dank cave with a whole bunch of half-ruined technology all around.
Yeah. So again, that weird juxtaposition of it's a cave, but it's got technology in it.
So these guys are trying to to rediscover their knowledge and figure out how this technology works. And once they rediscover their science, they can make weapons and engage in a little armed revolution against the lords. Like that.
Hey.
And we meet Kalmar in person for the first time, and when he finds out that the Doctor and Romana are scientists, he's delighted, because he considers himself to be a scientist as well.
Bless.
And he's like, I haven't seen fellow scientists in so long. You're a sight for sore eyes, strangers. So they seem to be in with the rebels already. We then cut to Ivo's house.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to mention some exposition.
Oh, please do.
It's more of the things have always been the way they are, because they mentioned that the lords rule in the tower, the peasants toil in the fields, and it's been like this forever. But don't the lords protect you from the wasting? What is the wasting? Well, the wasting is... It's the wasting. Yes, very helpful, thank you. So, I'm back at the village, as you were saying.
So back at the village then, Adric shows up at Ivo's house. And he tries to steal some food. Presumably because he's hungry. But he's caught by Ivo's wife, which is Marta, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. She calls her husband, but they actually take pity on Adric because he's a stranger and, he's only a boy. So they look after him instead of, reporting him to the lords or throwing him out to be eaten by whatever the hell's outside. There's nothing, by the way. There's absolutely nothing in the back.
Jacket and some soup, Adric. Have a peasant jacket and some soup,
But they basically sort of adopt him in a little way. Just trying to keep him safe from everything that happens.
Which is heartbreaking when you consider they just lost their son.
Yeah, it's like, and they know that their son is gone. They're not stupid.
Yeah, poor guy. So back in the cave, they mentioned the rebels found this place, and it was lined with all sorts of half beaten up technology and mountains of food.
And we get a really interesting line about knowledge. And again, a real recurring theme throughout this whole story. All knowledge is forbidden by the lords. The penalty for knowledge is death.
Ooh.
They're not even allowed to read, which the doctor is like all up in arms about. It's like, you're not allowed to read?
And a wild twist is that once they realize that the computer that Kalmar's working on, they realize what planet this thing came from.
Earth, of course.
Oh my god, they were wrong. It was Earth all along.
My god! So the doctor fiddles with it and gets it to boot up, and we find a computer log from a spaceship called the Hydrax.
Did you tell us a story about the name Hydrax?
Wait a minute, this is the same ship!
Yeah! So I don't remember when I did this. I was bitching about Ian Levine at some point.
Well, that could have been any podcast in the past 3 months.
I want to say it would have been a Trial of a Time Lord podcast at some point, but yeah. So apparently, when this story was being made, this ship in the log here was originally called the Hyperion, and Mr. Ian Levine, then the unofficial continuity advisor for Doctor Who, said you should change the name of the ship. Because there was a spaceship named Hyperion in the John Pertwee story, The Mutants. Given that this was 1980, The Mutants was 8 years old, and there were no reruns or VHS or anything, nobody would have given a shit about them using the same name, but I guess they were like, okay, fine, fuck it, change the name. Come Terror of the Vervoids, Ian Levine quits his unofficial continuity advisor thing in protest because, oh no, they've cast Bonnie Langford as Mel. And the spaceship in that story is named the Hyperion. So it's very much a boot in the ass on the way out.
Haha.
Yeah.
All I have to say is womp womp.
Womp womp. So we've got this log, and we find out about the ship's crew, and then we see their faces. And the rebels are like, wait a minute, holy shit, I know these people. Yeah. I've seen them every day. I was a guard, and I saw those faces every day. Those are the lords.
There's one rebel who used to be a guard, as you say, and he recognizes them from the pictures as the three who rule. We have Zargo the king, Camilla the Queen, and Orcon the Councillor.
Crew listing mentions the crew members Sharkey, Macmillan, and O'Connor.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. That'll be important in part 2. But
yes.
We got our cliffhanger where the Doctor and Romana are trying to head back, but it's getting dark, and the bats are coming. And one of them gives Tom Baker a little nibble on the neck, and he's like, shit. They're getting a little frisky, aren't they?
I have to say, the green lighting here is extremely cliche, but very effective.
Oh, you are cliche! You are cliche! Did you notice the bats in this cliffhanger?
Yeah, of course it did.
No. I don't mean like that. I mean not the bats that are flying in the sky. I mean the bats that are in the shot, like coming after them and shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally the effect is basically literally just bat puppets on strings waving in front of the camera. And you cannot convince me that is what they're doing.
No, that's exactly what they're doing.
Rather. Yeah.
So
It's
part
literally
2 comes along, and kill surprise, the bats didn't do any damage whatsoever to them.
But the guards are here to escort the Doctor and Romana to the tower.
They're awaited at the tower. They arrive at the tower, and this tower is a really interesting set we've got here, because there is no windows to speak of at all. And no mirrors, obviously. And some really weird
What a
architecture.
crime. What a fucking crime.
And some weird architecture.
Very weird architecture.
Yeah. So the Doctor and Romana are greeted by Zargo and Camilla.
Can we just talk about their entrance for a second?
Oh, please.
They get a really regal entrance because this music starts playing, and then they appear, and they get off the throne, and they take each other's hand, and they sort of glide.
They didn't even get off the throne. They weren't anywhere near the throne. They were just in the curtain waiting.
All right, and they glide towards Romana and the Doctor.
Remember what it said about they're vampires because they're overacting? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You almost expect them to go, it's astounding.
Well, unfortunately, the Doctor does not want to do the time warp again.
No,
we're just every other day. It's fine.
We've done the space warp this season. We're in E-space, remember?
I see what you did.
So
there.
this fancy tower, we learned, was built generations ago.
It was, yeah. And the lords at first seem rather friendly. They're being polite to their guests. They offer them a glass of wine, which isn't wine.
Oh, it's blood!
It's bull's blood.
Which, yeah.
The Doctor calls it. He's actually not right, but he says it's bull's blood.
Yeah. Which, I'm sure that's a trope in the vampire thing. The vampire offers you a drink and, oh no, it's blood!
Yeah, very much is a... I mean, look at the Symphony of the Night. Dracula with his glass
What
of
is
blood.
a man?
Yeah, and just throws it. And then if you're playing I Want to Be the Guy, that glass of wine kills you.
Oh,
Well,
God, that's
speaking of breaking a glass of wine, Romana actually does that when she and the Doctor toast so hard that her wine glass just basically falls apart, which also cuts her finger.
Another vampire trope. Oh, fresh blood. Oh, you've cut your finger? Let me see, my dear. Let me see.
The Queen, Camilla, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very interested in the cut.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But Romana, before that, Romana gets a fantastic line here.
Oh, the Doctor and Romana get some real great banter here. I mean, and here's where I lay my cards out. Like, I honestly just kind of picked this because, fun vampire story. It's set in E-space, pretty good. But also, it's anti-feudalism as hell.
You little liar. You picked this because of the politics.
I picked this because of the spooky season, and it happens to align with my politics.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
So yeah, I mean, they're chatting, and Camilla mentions, the richer fare would only distress the peasants. And the Doctor is just peak mocking mode. He's like, oh yes, of course, they'd be totally... There's nothing worse than a peasant with indigestion and intestinal distress. Isn't that right, Romana? I heard you've been having trouble that way with rebellion.
And Romana gets another great line when she says, what do you do for them except saving them from gluttony? Damn, girl!
Holy shit!
Romana's just on it this entire story.
And Camilla's just like, there's always a few ungrateful ones who don't appreciate what the lords do for them. And then Romana has that line, yeah, what do you do for them apart from protecting them from gluttony? We protect them from the dangers on this planet. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're not buying what the vampires that aren't vampires, but the totally vampires are selling here. And the lords claim to be stranded on the planet. A bit like how the Doctor and Romana are stranded in E-space at the moment.
Yeah. Boy, these peasants really should stand up to their oppression, huh? But they don't have any will or knowledge because, yeah.
And that actually plays into our next scene because we cut back to Ivo's house.
And it's time for another. And yeah, Ivo's explained to Adric, you gotta be good, work, sleep, and serve the lords. So they let you live until you die, worn out, as opposed to being killed. So.
It's just unfortunate for them that at that time Habris appears. And they're going to have another selection.
Why? Because we said so, that's why.
Yeah.
Also, Alcon is here, because he's going to direct it.
Uh-oh.
And so Adric gets shoved into the lineup, and he's just looking everybody over. And he looks at Adric, and he's like, interesting. A mind that shields itself. You're not as stupid as you look. Come with me, boy, and you'll have wealth and power and dominion over this world and others. And Adric's just like, me? Why? What's in it for me?
And Alcon actually likes his fighting spirit.
And so, yeah, he gets chosen for what we'll find out later.
He gets mesmerized as well.
And so, back to the Doctor and Romana with Zargo and Camilla, and we get even more, this society is a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, what the hell's the line that the Doctor gets?
A society that runs backwards must be subject to a more powerful force restraining it.
Yeah, evolves backwards, but yes.
And they say, well, there's always a division between the rulers and the ruled. Yeah, but this is a yawning chasm. And Romana gets the great line, a sociopathic abscess, wouldn't you say?
As I said,
even the Doctor's impressed by that line.
And then the Doctor drops the title of the story. He's like, yeah, that's a good one. I've never seen such a state of decay.
Title drop, Clarkson! You actually have air holes, god damn it.
Yeah. That's why I stayed quiet, because I was like, there is a high probability she has air horns. I'm gonna wait.
I'm glad you waited. So
they get the vampires get mad at this, obviously, because it's basically saying, well, you're a bunch of oppressive dickwads. And Zargo basically says, oh, a ship of state must have a leader. And Carmilla gets mad at that. She's like, shut up. What did you say? A ship of state? Shut up? No, don't shut up. I want to hear it. Or the curious metaphor. And then
the ship is called the Hydrax.
And they hear that name, and they're dismayed. Yeah. They're very much dismayed.
And Habris comes in, and they're like, how dare you interrupt us? Well, Alcon has seen the arising at hand. We must go. And Camilla gets a great line where she's like, if you two need anything, there are guards outside. Many guards.
Yeah, I like the many guards bit.
And they shut the door, and the Doctor's like, I don't think they want to be followed.
They get locked in the chamber, basically.
Which is about the worst fucking thing you could do for two clever people, because they immediately start fucking around.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just sitting on the thrones now, just expositing, which is a great little visual. And then Romana and the Doctor, they mention the Brothers Grimm and the Law of Continental Shift. And how things evolve over time. So you got the names of the officers from the Hydrax, which are Sharkey, Macmillan, and O'Connor, and they just go into Sharkey, Jargo. Ooh. And then she does the same for Macmillan to Camilla, and O'Connor to Olcon. Huh?
Yeah, Olcon.
Interesting. So the names decay over generations. The lords are the descendants of the ship's officers.
Yeah. Because you mentioned that this was a Leela script originally.
Yeah.
And that's interesting, isn't it? Because a similar trick is played with Leela.
The face... Okay, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, yeah.
So I wondered if this wasn't in the original script and this was an addition.
Maybe it is, yeah. Per the reference, Leela is... They've got the same deal going here, where there's a mix of technology but primitive stuff in Leela's debut story. And she's part of a tribe called the Seva Team, which is a linguistic decay of Survey Team, which was a spaceship that landed.
Yeah, which was actually referenced in the Sunmakers.
Yes.
when
Yes,
she's
it was.
being interrogated by the the hell's his name?
Collector, the gatherer.
The little guy, the collector.
Yeah. The little guy who wants more money.
Yeah, him.
That's that guy, yeah.
Jeff
So,
Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
Can we not, please?
No, please, let's fucking.
We keep no. I mean, we have to keep bringing him up every week.
Yes, because he sucks.
I mean, yes, but still.
So, we also learned that the throne room is the control room for the Hydrax. This thing is this tower is the Hydrax.
The entire tower is the Hydrax.
This is the control room, and he's like.
Let's be fair. It was a little obvious. It was a giant rocket.
Yeah.
It was,
yeah.
but there's a really cute bit where Romana's talking about finding she's found an inspection hatch.
Yeah.
And Doc's like, what? I found an inspection hatch, and then there's a pause.
Yeah,
and goes,
he's looking
Romana,
around. Yeah,
I found an inspection hatch, and she allows him to believe he's found it.
It's really cute. Yeah. So down in like the lower caves of the tower, just like, well, this is where the tower landed, I guess, because the rocket engines are there. So down in the depths, the three you're talking, Alcon and Zargo and Camilla, and the first chosen one is going to be Adric, who's been vampirically brainwashed or whatever. You know, vampires. Woo, they look at you and they're like,
Yeah.
And Alcon gets a great line about how this is great. He's got a good mind because we've bred dullness, conformity, and obedience into those clods for 20 generations.
Yeah.
So it's good to actually find a strong-willed mind to join us.
Yeah, he gets some good dialogue, Alcon, I think, of the three vampires.
Oh yeah.
He's got fantastic dialogue.
Yeah.
So what are the other two strangers? Well, they want to kill him. Zargo and Camilla just want to kill him. But Alcon's against it.
They could probably join us. Be fine.
More minds.
More minds, more actual smart people to join
He
our
wants to
cause.
interrogate the Doctor first to find out what he knows. And it's interesting, isn't it? Zargo's the king and Camilla's the queen. But it's Alcon that's the real power behind the throne here.
Because he's like the court advisor. I mean,
he seems to have the final say. He seems to have the power of the three of them.
Actually, that's literal, as we'll find out a little later.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, back at the rebel camp, they're all like, well, the lords have taken the Dr. Romana. They're probably going to die. They're probably going to get murdered. And so the former guard is like, is Tarek, I believe.
Tarek, yeah.
Yeah, Tarek.
We should attack now and save them. That's a stupid idea. We need to bide our time and build our technology. Oh, you're being a coward. If we just sit around here in our cave, we'll never get anything done. Okay, hang on.
With me.
Okay, hang on. Change a plan. Change a plan. Instead of attacking the tower, I'll go in and rescue them. But how? I was a guard once. I can be a guard again.
Yeah.
Rainiac here, can you put up a little Not Always Sunny play card that says Tarek does not become a guard again? Tarek fails to become a guard again?
Consider it done. I mean, he doesn't actually fail, but...
Oh, no, he failed. He failed super hard.
All right.
So,
First he had to like go and get somebody's outfit, and then he was immediately caught. So
True. All right, he failed. But
So the Doctor and Romana are investigating the rocket, and they find three separate ladders up this inspection hatch, and they each lead to something called an Arrow-class scout ship. Just a little rocket that detaches from the main rocket for investigation, exploration, stuff like that. So yeah, and just ignore the label there by Mr. Chekhov. Let's just go back down.
Chekhov's fuel dump, yeah.
So let's check out that rhythmic beating noise down below. And so they head down to the engine room, I guess. And they flip on the lights. And, oh, holy shit. It's a corpse factory.
Yeah.
Coming soon to Steam on 20... No, wait, wrong corpse factory, shit.
So there's all sorts of bodies, and they have been completely drained of blood, and there's tubes, and all sorts of shit leading down. And what's in the fuel tanks? It's not rocket fuel.
It's blood.
It's blood.
So, is this the blood of the victims that they've been drained of?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the implication here?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So when the vampires take blood, they're not taking it for themselves, they're taking it for this creature.
A thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess they take some for themselves too, but also,
Yeah.
they save a shitload for whatever.
And Camilla gets a killer line before this where there's talk about, the doctor's not even armed. He says, you're wrong. The doctor is armed with the most dangerous weapon of all, knowledge.
And so the doctor and Romana head out. I guess they head out from the rocket, the engine part, the bit, the part goes.
Yeah.
They head out and they jump, and the doctor hops off this little ledge, and Romana hops off, and they're just like, "Oh, doctor, what's wrong? You jumped on my toe."
Yeah. They're great together in this, which is interesting because they were going through a rough patch in their real life relationship.
Oh God, yeah. They were the behind the scenes. I can't even imagine. Ooh, boy.
They patched it up because they got engaged after this, but
yeah.
What was going on behind the scenes?
They were like, they fucking hated each other.
Arguments and not liking Matthew Waterhouse.
God, yeah.
And then they only got married after that.
Yeah, and then they got divorced. There's a great bit on the special features for Warriors Gate. It's the little documentary where they're interviewing Lala Ward, and she says, somebody asked me once at the convention if Tom and I ever played pranks on each other. And I said, yes, we got married.
I love it.
Incidentally, do y'all know who Lala Ward is married to today?
Yeah, I do.
I thought I did, but now I don't remember.
It's Richard Dawkins.
Yeah.
So she picked Tom Baker and Richard Dawkins. That's an interesting progression of husbands.
Yeah, just a bit. So our part 2 cliffhanger, the doctor mentions that there are vampire legends on almost every inhabited planet, but where'd they all come from? Oh, the ground is trembling, and Archon's here, and it's like, welcome to my domain.
The resting place.
Ooh. So part 3, Archon is doing the whole, ooh, you should join us. Power is the only reality. Why not join us and share it? At the time of arising, our servants will swarm.
The Great One will arise and tell us how to leave this universe.
Yeah, so they're gonna hitch a ride out of E-Space, and Romana's briefly like, should we play along to find the way out of E-Space? No, it's too dangerous.
It's alright, we have the boy, and he shall be with us.
And also, we get the, which is not that surprising of a reveal, and I don't know why they had the Continental thing, if it just got retconned an episode later, but these aren't the descendants of the original astronauts. These are the original astronauts.
I'm fine with it, because it's the Doctor learning from his mistakes as he goes on.
I get, yeah. It's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that, these people have been alive for 1,000 years.
And so, yeah, and keep in mind, Adric stowed away, so when Archon is like, but we have your companion with us. What? Who? The boy! He called himself Adric. Adric? What the what?
God damn it, Wesley.
What are you talking about?
What the hell is he doing here? Other than messing things up backstage.
And so Archon tries to use Mesmerizing Stare to freeze the Doctor. And then Romana breaks free, and she tries to throw a rock at it. It's a stalagmite, I think, or the ones.
She breaks part of the cave off, yeah.
And she hucks it at him.
I love this effect. It just shatters against his arm, like, harmlessly.
Because, he's a spooky vampire. And they, shield their eyes, and they're like, okay, we better get out of here. And then Zarko and Camilla are in the door, and they're like, you're not going nowhere.
Well, before they encounter them, the Doctor says the most stupid thing you could possibly say, and admits that they are Time Lords.
Yeah.
Which, he doesn't know that this is the stupidest thing to say.
Oh, I know.
Yet.
I know, but...
But it is, because they're like, Time Lords, our ancient enemies!
Yeah, if you thought that the trope of an alien race taking exception to finding out the Doctor was a Time Lord is a modern thing. No, it's here.
Oh yeah, it's here. We're gonna get into some shit, but before the vampires can get the Doctor and Romana, the Great One is speaking, and so the three of them had to go. The three of them had to do that, and that's the Doctor and Romana. Well, they try to escape, but they're not getting very far.
Yeah, they're going to be sacrificed insteed of killed right now, because they're going to come like, let's drain them dry now. And Argon's like, no, the Great One has spoken. They are to be a sacrifice at the time of a rising. Yeah. And I thought, honestly, they were going to start turning on each other. I thought this was like a sort of a lead into like, oh, they're finding Orcon less trustworthy than they used to. Maybe they're going to start squabbling up themselves, maybe even kill each other. That doesn't happen.
You can kind of see where it's coming from, because they take the Doctor and Romana prisoner, and then Zargo and Camilla go to sleep. Well, they don't sleep in coffins, but they just got this little tomb thing that they go to sleep in. And as they're getting ready to go to sleep, they start talking. And Akon still hasn't shared his powers with Zargo and Camilla after all this time. So there's still a little power imbalance going on here, even amongst the lords, as they have a power imbalance over them and the peasants. It's almost as if there's some sort of metaphor between vampirism and hoarding and sucking blood. And
I'm sure it's nothing.
And I don't know, Jeff Bezos or something.
I don't know, Jeff Bezos.
God damn it, Cat!
But supposedly all are equal before the Great One. Supposedly.
Yes,
supposedly.
All are equal before Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
So the Doctor and Romana are held prisoner, and the Doctor is telling a story.
Shut up, bitch!
Thank you for playing that. That's exactly what I was hoping for.
Beautiful. It's almost like you told me to shut up.
I will say, I do like the sort of characterization that they give to the three vampires. Like, obviously, Archon is like, you know, power, the Great One, blah, blah. But then you have Camilla, who's, like, super eager to just start eating people.
Yeah.
Like, weirdly eager to start eating people, considering her background. And Zargo, in this scene, he's a little bit hesitant about things. He's still kind of afraid, and he's not sure. But he's going to go along with it because, you know, his pals are.
Zargo, Camilla, and Orcon, the Vampire Triforce.
Holy shit. So, we get some exposition. The Doctor mentions hearing stories from an old hermit from Gallifrey, which...
Well, excuse me, princess.
Why the fuck do you have that?
Because I mentioned Triforce.
No, she has it.
Why not?
Why are you surprised at this point that she has this particular sound clip?
I mean, I don't know.
Something for everything.
Something for everything. So, the Doctor's telling stories about an old hermit he used to know from Gallifrey, which I think is a sly little reference to a similar time that the Doctor was locked up and told a story about a hermit in The Time Monster.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's not the first time we heard about this hermit, and then the hermit would actually make an appearance.
In a story that we can't cover.
Oh, yeah, we can't cover that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we can't cover that.
Which is a shame, because that's actually a Doctor's exit.
Yeah.
Did he also talk about a hermit in Snake Dance?
Probably. Well, I don't know.
I think he did, yeah.
He might have.
I think you're right, yeah. In Kinder. I think in Kinder he talked about a hermit.
No, it was Snake Dance, because they were trying to get the snake out of Tegan.
Yeah.
It could be a reference to Campo, yes. I think that was his name.
I don't remember.
Anyway, the story, this hermit used to tell ghost stories about giant vampires who swarmed all over the universe, and one vampire could suck the life out of an entire planet. Do you get the metaphor yet? Jeff Bezos! Jeff Bezos!
Let people go pee!
Let people go pee.
Let my people pee!
So, the Time Lords fought the vampires in, and this is really prescient, a great war. A great war involving the Time Lords. How about that?
We've done it again.
And wait. Have we? We did midnight last time.
No, we did Rose last time.
Yeah, we did Rose last time.
Okay, we did midnight the time before. Oh yeah, we have
Yeah.
done it again. Yeah, shit. And so the vampires were all destroyed except for one, and the vampire escaped, vanished into thin air, never to be seen again. I wonder. Weird. And then Romana mentions, I worked in ancient records on Gallifrey for a while, and I remember coming across something about the record of Rassilon being installed in old time machines. Oh, really? What kind of time machines? Oh, Type 40, I think. The TARDIS is the Type 40. You're wonderful, you know that?
Yeah, I love this bit. The way she accepts the compliment is just really cute.
Interspersing this exposition scene is Tarek being a guard and sneaking around and failing all the stealth checks and having to dug in his way through the guards.
Metal Gear Tarek.
Metal Gear Tarek. And there's a real great moment where the doctor, like after all this exposition, he just beckons to the guard in their cell and they're like, hey, come here, and gut punches him.
Yeah, just knocks him out.
And then it's like, okay, Romana, let's escape. And Tarek opens the door and just slams him into the doctor. Just whomp.
And I think this was the scene where Tom Baker was legitimately caught by the door.
Oh, Jesus.
And so had to take a moment for his next line.
Oh, my God.
It's either that or when Habris bursts in another scene, but there's definitely a bit where he was caught by the door for real.
Ow. Damn.
He played it off well, because I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't read it. So,
just a little quick scene for context later. The boys down in the Rebel Cave have activated another function of that computer, a scanner.
Scanning! Yay!
Yes, they used the ancient technique of smacking it on the top of the monitor.
So the doctor, Romana, and Tarek are about to leave, and then it's like, what about Adric? Adric! Okay, fine. We better save Adric, okay? And they're doing a thing. Okay, you go back to the TARDIS. I'll go with Tarek and we'll rescue Adric. No, actually, you go back to the TARDIS. I'll go with Tarek and rescue Adric. It's like, okay, fine,
let's do that.
And again, Romana's adorable here. She goes to Tarek and says, "Inner sanctum, please."
It's so good.
She's so good in this. She really is.
She really is.
I really, with all respect to Mary Tam, I am a Romana 2 person.
Same.
She's so good. So the doctor's heading to the TARDIS, and Romana's like, well, how are we going to get into the inner sanctum? How about the old prisoner trick? So she holds up her hands, pretends she's a prisoner, and Tarek is escorting her. And they go up to the guard, and it's like, this prisoner has to go see Zarko. No one's disturbed Zarko. I have my orders, and I have mine. I'll take full responsibility. Okay, fine. Here, have the card. And Tarek puts in the thing wrong, and Romana's like, oh, here! And puts it over. It's okay, thank you.
And the guard's just like, wait, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, who are you?
What the fuck?
He says, you know Lady Camilla? Well, yes, of course. And what does she call herself? I'm in her same
blood group.
That's it. I'm her blood group designator. What? And then Tarek just knocks him out.
Bonk.
Before that, however, there's two scenes you've missed.
Oh, go on.
So, Kalmar's got the scanner working, and then Ivo bursts into, because it says there's someone on our way to us. It's Ivo. Ivo bursts in, and he's full of rage. Now, did I miss a scene here? Because he says his son is dead, drained of all blood by the vampires.
I don't think you missed a scene. I don't know
Did
how
he find out off camera?
He must have found out off camera in a deleted scene or something.
It's a bit weird, honestly. So, he's got nothing left to live for. He's going to attack the tower to avenge his son. He knows it's a suicide mission, but he's going to gather the men in the village, and he says, you, Kalmar, you've got two options. You can stay here and when they finish with us, they'll come for you, or you can join us and be a man, and Kalmar chooses to stay there.
Jesus.
And then the doctor's in the TARDIS, and he's looking for information on vampires, first of all. But the dramatic pause he gets... It's like, K9, search the TARDIS database for vampires. Tom
Kanon's
Baker is
not
a professional.
Yeah. And Kanon's not finding shit about the records of Rassilon, and, they're talking about vampires and mythology and all this shit. And it's like, nope, 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 nope. And then Kanon mentions that there's additional data contained on magnetic cards.
Aha.
So the Doctor goes to get the magnetic cards.
And he snaps at Kanan. Why didn't you say it in the first place?
And so, I think we'll do all this exposition first, even though this is intercut with the Romana stuff, but we'll save the Romana stuff.
Yeah, let's do the exposition first.
So the Doctor finds these cards, he feeds them into the TARDIS, and it just prints off a receipt of exposition. But the Doctor tears off, and he's just like reading about the record of Rassilon, and it's basically the same story that he just recanted from the Hermit, the Vampire War. And this happened in ancient Gallifreyan history, by the way, when Rassilon was young. So it's like, and actually, I think that the Time Lord Victorious thing actually tied into this lore a little. I don't know how, because tie in all that shit. I don't know how time. Nobody knows how that shit works.
How the hell's Time Lord Victorious tie into this?
Because it's like the Dark Times of Gallifrey or some shit. So I guess it involves some backstory of the Vampire War with the Time Lords. I don't know.
Why does every fantasy series have a Dark Times? Star Wars had a Dark Times. Doctor Who has a Dark Times. Game of Thrones must have had. Let's be honest. Game of Thrones was the Dark Times.
We're looking at it for the next 6 weeks. Hell!
Hey-o! Let's be honest here. Game of Thrones was the Dark Times, also known as Season 8. I went there.
Oh, cool. Apparently Colin Baker was almost Alcon.
Yeah. And Michael Jason. Michael Jason,
Ian McKellen,
Martin Jarvis, Ian
Patrick
McKellen,
Stewart.
Colin Baker, all considered for the role of Alcon.
Holy shit.
A lot of people, in fact.
That's wild. So, so we get the same exposition, Vampire War, blah, blah, blah. But it also mentions offhand something called bow ships. And they're like, what's bow ships? But then we keep reading, and the vampire that vanished once all the other bodies were counted was the King Vampire. Oh, good! And also there's a directive where any Time Lord who finds a vampire has to kill it dead by order of Rassilon, even at the cost of their own life.
Yeah, the King Vampire, or the Great One, what you want to call him, he vanished from time and space completely.
Implication being that he took the Hydrax with him, somehow got through a time... He got through a time warp, found the Hydrax,
I think he crawled into E-Space and then later on compelled the Hydrax into E-Space or something like that.
Something like that. Either way, yeah.
Either way, they're both there.
The Hydrax would have got caught into him opening the wormhole to E-Space, the CVE, which is interesting, but who knows. So, loading up the data on bow ships, they're literally, the whole vampire myth about driving a stake through the heart. Well, these are giant vampires, so bow ships are literally spaceship-sized stakes that you shoot through a great vampire's heart.
It sounds metal as hell.
It
is metal as hell because they need to use these giant steel beams to do it.
Yeah. So, now we get to our cliffhanger where Romana and Tarek are down in the sanctum and they're looking for Adric, and they find Adric, and he's all dressed up like in fancy dress. Like a prince, and he's asleep, and they're like, oh shit. Is he a vampire already? I don't know.
Are we too late? Well, no.
No. And so they're like, Adric, wake up, wake up. And as Romana is yelling, wake up, Zargo and Camilla, wake up, wake up. And they attack. And they attack
Good job, Romana.
And they kill Tarek. Oops.
Yeah.
But Carmilla's pissed about this because the blood of the dead is stale and flat. I must have the blood of the living, which, I mean, he literally only just died.
Yeah,
I think that's a common thing in vampires, isn't it? That they have to suck the blood of the living.
Yeah, but I mean, he just died, so, like, it's not... I don't know. It's folklore bullshit. We're gonna need to nitpick it. But anyway, the cliffhanger is, well, we've still got these two to snack on.
Yeah. The cliffhanger is that Zargo's about to take a piece out of Romana.
And I should really... I only noticed this on the Part 4 reprise, but Adric throws a knife into Zargo, and it just carries into him. He doesn't react at all. And then he's menacing Romana, and he's pulling the knife out of himself to threaten Romana. Jesus Christ!
Because Adric didn't get him in the heart.
Metal as fuck.
It is,
Yeah.
but Adric didn't get him in the heart. And there's a scene earlier where they find Zargo and Camilla sleeping, and Terrence's like, we should kill them now. And it's like, well, what are you gonna? You haven't got a stake, a wooden stake. I think the dagger would have worked because isn't it silver?
I don't know.
That's werewolves, honey.
No. Somebody's not watched Blade. Silver can kill vampires too.
Some motherfuckers
You're
are
really
always
going
trying...
to take Blade, which was made after this, as vampiric lore.
Yes,
You know-
yes, I am.
You know what they say? Some motherfuckers always try to skate uphill.
Yeah, amazing send-off line that.
So
Anyways.
Akon steps in and is like, hey, no, you can't eat them.
No,
They are for the Great One.
Romana's a
Adric
sacrifice. Adric's to become a
Adric's
vampire.
the chosen one, and Romana's the sacrifice.
And then
So
we
the
get
doc-
an amazing bit from the Doctor here.
So he's like, okay, well, so now I know, but we need the help of the rebels. I mean, even though there probably won't be that much help in destroying a great vampire, I need their help. I need to impress them. What can I do? I know, a short hop. That's pretty risky, though. I mean, you know, these short hops are usually bad. And K9 interjects, E-space is smaller, so the probability will be better for a short hop without going through time. Okay. So we're back at the rebel cave, and they're just like, well, what are we going to do? We have to attack now. And then the Doctor rematerializes. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, me.
It's really funny because the Doctor makes a huge thing about he needs to make an impressive entrance to win the rebels over to his course.
Yeah.
Which really
I mean,
what
all
all this
you have
would
to do
do
is
would be
appear.
scare the hell out of them and maybe get the turn on him, but that doesn't happen.
We get a quick little, like, villain monologue here with the three vampires, and they're like, oh, the blood we've given the great vampire has regenerated him fully. Once he's awake, he'll be hungry. Ivo and his peasants can be the first to be.
Yes,
Fed to
they
the
can
Great
perform
One.
one more service for us.
Then, yeah, I mean, again, hey, capitalism. Ooh,
All
work
three
for
of them are
us until
chewing the
you
scenery
die.
hard here, but especially Camilla. Camilla is just
Oh,
going into it.
Oh, yeah,
Then we'll
Camilla's all
escape.
for it.
We'll escape this miserable universe and suck. Oh, the planet's dry.
Then
We'll
you cut-
escape this universe and suck, because we suck.
Suck, suck, suck. Mwahaha. Jeff Bezos will break free. Of
Oh,
this
for
hate
God's
space.
sakes!
We'll steal all the air from the planet.
Oh, Jesus.
We get it. You don't like Jeff Bezos very much.
No, I do not.
I mean, I don't either, but you are rubbing it home a bit too much there.
It's a bit, right? We gotta have it.
It's still
up.
annoying the hell out of me.
Yay! He's annoyed.
And now I've said that you can do it more, god damn it. So, the Doctor rallies the troops here, well, the villagers, and his
Hey, Rain.
speech to them is just Henry V.
Hey, Rain, would you prefer one of these? Doctor Who Mirror Alert. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Jeff Bezos
Thank you.
sucks.
I'm taking that W. So, the rebel rallying.
Yeah, so his speech is funny because it's just cribbed from Henry V. It's Shakespeare with a few lines changed.
It's Shakespeare. Stephanie says E-space instead of in the name of what? In Henry V.
The name of England, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's all about war between the French and the English.
And he starts talking about the fucking monster that lives under the tower, and the rebels are like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no such thing. And, well, the Doctor then finds out that there's a scanner, and so he goes through the scanner. There's the regular view, there's the infrared view, here's the X-ray view. Oh, God!
Yeah.
There's just a fucking vampire puppet
Yeah.
superimposed. Look at this thing. It's just, look at the screen. Just look at that. Right, you've got the screen.
That is... And this puppet never shows up again.
No. They probably wanted to use it for the ending, but they were like, "This is too shit. This is too."
This is just stupid. Because Kalmar, the Doctor's speech does win most of the rebels over and the villages that Ivo's brought over. But Kalmar's like reluctant, like, oh no, we can't win this, and we should stay here and stick with technology. It's like, Kalmar, you've been sticking to the technology for about 25 years, and it's not helped.
Kalmar, giant monster that's about to appear and eat everybody. You gotta go now.
Listen, Calamari, at some point you gotta make a stand.
Calamari? Jeez.
Well, it's
So-
close
This
enough.
is a true Squid Game.
Oh, God. Hey, if you want to talk about capitalism sucks, watch Squid Game.
But Fresno, Squid Game is clearly about communism. And we know this because lots of people said it was about communism, despite the creator saying this is critiquing capitalism.
Listen. I am all for death of the author, but there is a fine line between reinterpreting the text your way and willful ignorance.
No. Death of the author is when the writer makes their intention clear in the text, but doesn't state outright that it is that. This is not death of the author. This is the people saying this is about capitalism going, well, actually...
This isn't the curtain. This isn't the curtain for
obviously,
fucking
Mr. Bradbury, Fahrenheit 451 is about the horrors of censorship. It's not actually about the horrors of technology like you said it is.
If I could just take off my fedora for a second, I could tell you why you're wrong.
This isn't the curtains were fucking blue moment. This is you are willfully ignoring the paratext and subtext and plain text.
Yes. And ignoring the bit where they say, it's about this. But anyway...
But watch Squid Game on Netflix.
Yeah, seeing the great vampire on screen finally gets Kalmar to come round to their side. So it's about damn time. Then we get a scene between Adric and Romana where Adric is a little shit.
Yes. This may be part of why he was poisoned by many viewers, because this is the first time we get to see... I think this is the first time we get to see Adric pretend betraying everybody. But I mean, it's his first story, so they're just writing him as sort of a little opportunistic shit.
They're doing what they can for him.
Yeah. So Adric is basically just like, oh well, the doctor didn't rescue us. I guess he fucked off in the TARDIS, huh? And Romana is very offended by this. How dare you say that to me?
He seems to be considering becoming a vampire.
It's like, well, there's no need for me to die with you if I can have power and eternal life. Adric, you're gonna become a fucking vampire.
What's the line?
Better that than dead, right?
One of my family's died for you already. I reckon one's enough. Jesus!
Oof.
And he's just like, well, why are you keeping me prisoner? I want to be a chosen one. I want to be a lord. Come on, man. And Alcon is like, yeah, okay, you know what? Untie him. He's gained
Take
our
him to
trust.
be initiated.
It's the Futurama skit where Leela wants to become the witch instead of Dorothy.
So, back at the Rebels, the Doctor's like, damn it. We need a mighty bolt of steel to kill the vampire. Now, where the hell will we get that? Chekhov, you genius! But first, he's got a present to help the rebellion so they can get inside the tower. And that present...
It's the goodest boy!
The best robot boy! And he just wheels under the TARDIS and there's just a little...
This
womp
is
womp
hysterical.
sort of
It's
sound
like, what if I
effect.
told you I had a secret weapon? One that couldn't be mesmerized. One that could take down the guards with laser fire, with a laser nose. I give you K9 and there's no reaction.
Just like, what the fuck? And so they bust in, K9 lasers some guards and stuns them, and they get into the throne room, and the Doctor's like, okay, I'm going up the inspection hatch. When K9 gives the signal, you guys get out of here. I'm not listening to a fucking robot. Yes, you are. He's the best
Look,
robot dog.
Ivo has already had problems with that fucking hedgehog. He doesn't need a robot dog telling him what to do.
Oh my god, you went there. So listen to the robot doggy, boys.
He does say, one day you'll apologise for that. I love the fact he's actually standing up for K9 for once, because usually he'd be shouting at him. Both on the show and behind the scenes.
We've come a long way from, yeah, you never fucking know the answer when
Yeah.
it's important. So, as the vampires are leading Adric and Romana down, Adric is like, don't worry, Romana, I have a plan.
Of
We'll
course,
see that,
Romana
man.
is hypnotized at this point, so she's not
Yeah,
reacting.
and she's been changed into a white dress for the sacrifice.
Typical, vampire fiction thing, very...
Well, I
standard
think
for
the
that
Maiden
sort
in
of thing.
White is a staple character in like sacrifice
Oh yeah,
stories.
yeah.
Yeah, but they actually said earlier that I think it was Alcon who said this, that the Great One demands ceremony, and if it doesn't go the correct way, he'll be pissed off.
Right.
True.
Which is an interesting bit of characterization for a fucking monster living under the ground that we never see. But we've got a killer fucking scene here where they're doing their thing, and Habris runs in and he's like, my lords! Yeah, how dare you interrupt us? The doctor's attacking with the rebels. What are we gonna do? You go back up and deal with it. We're doing the ceremony. What about the bats? I need the bats.
Oh,
I
I love this scene. I
he's
love
like-
this scene.
And he's like, but my lord Alcon, if we don't do something, we're gonna die. And Alcon leans in and says, then die. That's the
what
purpose.
guards are for.
That's
Yeah.
the purpose of guards.
Is that not the
Holy
purpose
shit.
of guards?
Yeah. It's just, again, hitting you over the head with the text, This feudalism is an oppressive system that drains you of all your value like a fucking vampire and discards the husk as soon as it's not profitable.
God damn you, Jeff Bezos!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the doctor heads up to the scout ship control section, and he's got 3 rockets, 3 chances. First one, no go. Second one, no go. Third one's a charm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets things started up.
how
And
does
there's
he
a great
get
bit-
it started up, Fresno?
What?
What does he do to start the rocket up?
Bangs it?
He punches the damn console.
I mean, to be fair, he did that with the monitor, the scanner thing.
Is that
in the
right?
Rebel there too? So there's just a theme of banging the thing to get it to work in this story.
Did you try turning it off and on again?
So there's another great scene where Ivo and Co are attacking the guards, where one of them go. I don't think it's Habris. I think he says a different name, and he's like, "You killed my son. I tried to help your
it is
son, and then they
Habris.
just wrestle."
It is Habris.
Yeah.
Because he says my son is dead. He says I tried to help him, and it's like the hell you did. Throws down his sword, stupid, and they just wrestle, and he kills him off screen.
Yeah. And then we get Adric's sudden but ineffective double cross, where he tries to attack the vampires and utterly fails.
Yeah, good job, hero.
Good attempt.
Yeah.
Good attempt. Yeah, good.
No,
good,
it wasn't.
good
What was even his plan? I think he just moved, and Ilkin's like, seize
was-
him.
Right, that was sarcasm.
Yeah.
Sarcasm. Good attempt.
He doesn't get to do much of anything.
He's a kid. I forgive him.
Did he have a knife or
forgive him.
something? I didn't even see what he did. But
Right,
He had a knife.
Rainiac. Here. Let me underline again. 1 second. Any second now.
oh
Good
god,
attempt, Adric.
yeah.
There.
attempt-
Does that help you convey my
An
emotion?
attempt was. I knew you were sarcastic, but I don't get what he was actually planning to do. I mean, did he have a weapon?
He had a
think
knife.
he had a knife,
He was going to
so-
stab
He
somebody.
just seems to move, and then Ilkin goes like, seize him.
Yeah. So, Akon summons his bats to drink Romana's blood. And once the doctor launches the rocket, we cut the canine on the throne, giving the signal to get out of
That's
there.
my favorite scene of all time.
Yeah.
Just K9 sitting on the throne. I
like,
love
I would
it.
think
Evacuate
you
the
like
tower.
the scene.
Evacuate the tower. And he's just sitting on the throne.
It's just, yeah. K9 all of a sudden starts playing the Super Metroid music.
Oh god.
I won't play it again. But the part that really amuses me by this scene is the fact that K9 can't get himself up there. Someone put him up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless he has like boosters or something that we don't see, but
I mean, I don't think this K9 had boosters, because otherwise that would be extremely helpful in other stories. But anyway, a rubber bat goes on Romana's neck to suck her blood.
oh my god, what is with the superimposing in this story?
Not just the superimposing, but we get shades of Warrior's Gate, because all of a sudden the frame rate goes to shit as the rocket.
Yeah, that was
starts to
weird. That
launch
like the weird jump cutting. That it's all like shaky cam, but it's also like bad frame rate.
Listen, Rainiac. It was like late 1980, early 1981. MTV was a thing, okay?
Yeah, how'd you get bad frame rate on a camera?
On purpose. It's a
Oh
stylistic
yeah,
choice.
yeah.
So the frame rate is going to shit. The great vampire has arisen, and there's a giant hand coming out of the ground.
Yeah, and the Doctor has reunited with Romana and Adric at this point. The Great One is here! The Great One is ready to feast! The Great One has been hit in the heart by a rocket. Oh dear.
Yeah, so we see the rocket just launch from the tower with a little model shot and some superimposing. Rocket go up, rocket go down. We don't have a bow ship, but we got a rocket, and that's just as good as a giant fucking stake through the heart. So that's metal as shit.
And again, we see it die off
fucking
camera.
Rocket ship.
It dies off camera.
Just slams into this thing. All we see is like a big puppet hand, but it just slams into the ground, presumably stabbing this thing in the heart. And the great vampire fucking dies. And the lords are melting.
This is a great scene. This is a great final scene for the Lords because they advance on the Doctor. The Doctor's backing up in fear. Their fangs are bared, and then they start aging. And
Man, do they start aging.
rapidly
and holy
aging.
crap. I kind of feel sorry for Zargo because he gets, like, really, really gross.
The effect on this is really effective and off-putting. The makeup that they use for the aged vampires is really actually kind of great. And
if the face melting from the end of Dragonfire is a 10, this gets an 8.
yeah, it's pretty gruesome actually.
Oh, yeah.
They
melt
collapse,
away.
they die, they turn into dust.
Hey, would you say that they wasted away?
Can't hit the button. Thank you. So, the villagers arrive. It's like, where are the vampires? Oh, they went to pieces.
Adric apologizes for the whole betrayal. It was all a bluff. I was just trying to rescue you. I didn't really want to become a vampire. Okay, Adric, good attempt.
And speaking of apologies, Ivo apologizes to K9.
I thought this would be Kat's favorite scene of the episode, where I was just like, "I owe your metal dog an apology, Doctor."
Well, go on then, do
go ahead
it.
and give it. And Ivo just kneels down and gives K9 a pat on the head. Good dog.
Yeah,
Affirmative.
You can see K9's little tail wagging.
it's great.
love
So
that.
good. So we get our denouement. We get the rebels all set up for building a technological society. Kalmar asks if they could ever return to Earth out of E-space, and the Doctor's like, "Shit, man, I don't know. I don't even know how to get out of E-space."
No,
As for you, Adric, you're going right the fuck home.
The great vampire had the knowledge to get back out of E-space, but with him gone and the Lord's dead, that died with them.
Oh, well.
And this is a strange thing. Apparently, the peasants were also brought to E-space.
Probably.
They weren't born. Wait, they say that, which I thought they were like, they were the residents. It was the Lords that were brought in as the foreign menace to the world. But actually, no. They all came from E-space originally, N-space originally. So that's a bit of a strange revelation.
Who knows how they got here? But that's State of Decay.
I kind of figured that they all came on the ship together, and then
Maybe
the
they did.
three became the vampires and got to live forever, while the other ones sort of
Yeah.
got together, made babies, and the babies made babies, and so on.
Yeah.
That's one way of looking at it, but I thought that they were, because it's the descendants of those original people. But yeah, you could be right.
So, final thoughts on State of Decay?
I really enjoyed this one.
Same.
Do we want to go more detail than that, or
Oh, of course, yeah. Shall I go first?
go ahead?
For once? Okay, so it helps that we did this as a Halloween special of sorts, despite it being over a week away, because it really fits the spooky aesthetic of Halloween. But it also holds up on its own, just as a regular story of Doctor Who. And the ideas presented here, about, corruption of language and going back to simplicity. Yes, we've seen that before with Leela and the Sever Team, but that's really effective. The constant theme of, technology versus power and knowledge being a dangerous thing, and all of that just resonates with me in a big way. And we got some good performances here. Romana is the MVP for me. I think Lola Wood gives a really good performance, and she just has lots of little bits that really make me warm up to Romana. The villains are pretty good, especially Orkon. I think he's the strongest of the three vampires by quite some distance. Adric, I can see why people didn't like Adric if this was their first exposure to him, unfortunately. But he's alright with me, although his betrayal that wasn't a betrayal, now that I think about it, we've had that in every Adric story that we've covered so far. So it's kind of becoming a bit of a predictable trope. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It's not the strongest Tom Baker. It's not the strongest the Space trilogy. I think that is still Warrior's Gate. I know you love that one as well, Fresno. But
Well, I mean, yeah.
it was nice to watch one I hadn't seen before, and I had a really good time overall.
Nice. I think I'll take the last slot. So, Kat, if you would.
It's a story with K9 and Adric. 5 out of 7, 10 out of 10. I'm done. But no, I really did enjoy this. It's a very good story. It's a classical look at vampires, which I always enjoy. And the monster's great, and the solution is fantastic. I just really like this serial. And more of Romana too, and the Doctor and interacting with each other. Obviously, K9, yay! I'm happy. I'm very happy.
I'm glad you two liked it, because I really liked this story. I mean, it's paralleling, I'm not going to say it. It's paralleling anti-feudalism with vampirism, Oh, these people, these upper-class people, they suck things dry because they're vampires. No, they're literally vampires. They're sucking all the hard work and stuff that the people are working for dry for their own gain and just discarding them as soon as they have no benefit. So, I mean, obviously it works in that level, and it also works on the straightforward level of a spooky vampire story. But it's tinged with that E-Space thing, so that's probably the best thing that could have happened to it for this particular draft. I mean, you've got the Doctor, you've got Romana 2, you've got K9, you've got Adric, you've got good guest performances. This is a solid story. You could do a lot worse for Halloween marathons for Doctor Who than just the same old, Hinchcliffe era stuff, and Pyramids of Mars, Brain of Morbius. I mean, this would have slotted in with them, but the fact that it came later, it almost feels like it's the Hydrax itself, a relic from an earlier time shunted into another weird universe of like alchemy, science, and
I like that a lot.
weird
Well
bullshit.
done. Well done with that analogy.
Yeah, but I really, really dig this story. I don't dig it as much as Warrior's Gate, which is my favorite E-Space / Tom Baker story, but you could do a lot worse. And I think this is a great little treat for us before next time, because Rain, you're not picking the story. Kat, you're not picking the story. I'm not picking the story. Next time on Doctor Who Reviews, it's
Chris
a brand new
Chibnall's
episode
picking
of
the
Doctor
story.
Who. Chris Chibnall has returned. Oh, wait. Poe Dameron voice. Somehow, Chris Chibnall has returned.
There's a lightning bolt I was expecting about 45 minutes ago. So...
Also, I decided to look, and I found out that the Hydrax had 243 crew members total.
Okay,
so
the people did come from the Hydrax.
Okay, so it could be the rest of the crew that were put into servitude by the vampires. Okay. Which makes me wonder why the hell they picked these particular three to be the three, but...
probably, the most power-hungry. Who knows? But
going back to Series 13, then, they do have individual titles, these stories.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's the Halloween Apocalypse.
Oh boy.
So the first time we've ever got a Doctor Who serial on TV anyway, set at Halloween. We almost had a Halloween special in The Waters of Mars, but they backed out from that because it was too scary.
Good choice.
I mean, in fairness, if you've seen The Waters of Mars, yes, it's very scary.
Yeah.
Gadget.
Well, gadget aside, but...
Yeah, it would fit for spooky, yeah. Waters of Mars.
It's one of the most terrifying enemies they've ever made.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I get you. But so the Halloween Apocalypse, Series 13, Jodie Whittaker, John Bishop, also maybe Mandip Gill is there. I don't know.
I assume this is
it's
going to be...
hard to tell because she continues to have no character.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
We regret to inform you that Yaz has still got no character.
Just watch. Just fucking watch. I swear to God, if Halloween Apocalypse is like, hello, I'm Dan. Here's my entire life story. I'm the focus. Also, Yaz is there. I'm going to throw a fucking chair on the show.
Well, look forward next week when he throws a chair on the show. Because I think that's going to happen.
Probably, but So, do we have anything more to say about Series 13, or should we get to the...
Not about Series 13, no, but I do want to have just a few moments, if I may, to discuss a film that I saw.
Are you going to talk about
Oh.
Bond?
Just briefly. I'm
I'm
not gonna
Alright,
spoil-
good night, everybody. We're gone.
I'm
Bye.
not going to spoil anything. It's fine, Kat.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I went
Talk
to see
about it.
James
Alright, go
Bond
ahead.
on Thursday. No Time to Die.
You've only been waiting for this for the last 18 months.
Yeah, just 18 months. Just 18 months. And
No.
I'll be as non-spoilery as I can because a lot happens in this film and a lot of it is very surprising.
Mm-hmm.
There are quite a few big shocks in store if you watch this film. I enjoyed it. It's not my favourite Bond film of Daniel Craig's. It's not my favourite Bond film of all time, certainly. And I personally didn't really like the ending all that much. But it flew by. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. It felt like 1 hour and 45 when I went to see it.
Like, it's 2 hours and 45 minutes?
It's the longest Bond ever made, yes.
Jeez.
Rain,
Yeah?
I have one response to that.
Well, it ended much.
One eternity later.
It ended much quicker than I thought it would.
Meme for everything.
I think having to speak in vagaries kind of sucks, but I think the villain is kind of weak actually, and there's one character who's fantastic, who doesn't appear nearly as much as they should in the film, and I think that's as far as I can go without spoiling anything. But I would recommend you go and see it.
I just want your barometer, Rainiac. What's your favorite Daniel Craig Bond, and what's your favorite Bond?
My favourite Daniel Craig Bond is Skyfall.
Okay, favorite Bond film of all of them?
My favourite Daniel Craig film is Skyfall. I'm not going to answer that question.
Is it Skyfall? Or
No,
is
it's
it
not. It's not. It's actually it's hard to say which is my favourite. You know what? It might be Goldeneye.
Moonraker.
No.
Fucking lasers, Brett. Look. Moonraker's due for a reappraisal from me.
I think
all
at the,
the fucking
at the
all
risk
the
of
rubber
being
suit
eaten
monsters
alive
in
by the
Doctor
Sean
Who I've
Connery
talked about.
stands, I think it might be Goldeneye.
I mean, listen. I'm going to say a little controversial thing, but Sean Connery Bond kind of falls into the same category as, for me, where it might be very well made, but it's problematic as shit for the time it's made.
Yeah, fair.
In a lot of ways, so it's like it's really hard for me to vibe with it.
Well, my favourite Bond is actually Pierce Brosnan.
I mean, yeah, I think I'd probably go with Brosnan.
Because for me, he was the perfect blend of Connery and Moore.
I'm also a Timothy Dalton stan.
Dalton
So
is fantastic.
fun. Yeah.
And had he got his third film, he probably would have really cemented himself as the Bond, but he didn't get that third film, sadly.
Oh.
We missed out on a Hong Kong businessman being murdered by a bomb with a blowtorch.
Oh.
God damn it.
So where can we find us?
You can find us on Twitter at ReviewsDoctor if you so wish. You can also find us individually at Rainiac Demaniac, at Freezing Inferno, and at Concave Usurper. You can also write us an email at goexterminate yourself, at gmail.com.
You can also buy Back to the 11th Hour by Krista McTeer, available now on Amazon.com. And you can check out my 16 Screams for Halloween, which is winding down now as of the recording here. We've covered such wonderful, interesting films as The Empty Man, and I covered Gamera, Guardian of the Universe, a fun little kaiju film, and I covered the film Midsummer.
I'm so sorry.
Armageddon.
I'm so sorry for
Armageddon.
picking Midsummer. I realised too late I had made a huge mistake, so I am sorry for that.
I accept your apology, but Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I
that
know.
movie-
Yeah.
That
You can
film
read-
was
you can
marketed to
read-
me as The Running Man Revisited, and it wasn't. Not The Running Man, sorry, The Wicker Man.
Running Man?
The Wicker Man Revisited.
Okay, one of those...
Midsummer is a lot worse than The Wicker Man, though. Not in the sense that it's a bad movie, but in the sense that, holy shit, you're not going to feel good.
I should have
coming
just
out of
picked
it.
the 1970 version of The Wicker Man
in
now I
the
think
sense
about
that,
it.
in the sense that Nicolas Cage doesn't dress as a bear and punch someone.
No, I'm talking about the original Wicker Man.
I know you're talking about the original, but how can I not reference... Not the bees! Oh, they're
Yeah, but
nice.
the original's got Christopher Lee in it.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, still, there's a difference between a folk horror movie with Christopher Lee and a fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger action movie that's a piss take on capitalism and all this
Yes,
bullshit with Richard fucking Dawson in it. Now, The Running Man would be... The Running Man is fucking great. You should
I
watch
mistakenly
it.
said The Running Man, but that's a great film too. But
Yeah.
I mean, yes,
So-
you're right. But on the other hand, Christopher Lee.
Yeah. So,
I
That's-
think the lesson that we've all learned is everybody please go watch Lamageddon. And then after that, watch Velocipaster. Because
she's
you know
fine. She's fine.
Yeah.
what? Actually find the photo.
You don't need to put it in. I'll put it in post. I've got it on my computer.
You've got it on speed dial. I know. Okay, put in she's fine.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, I think all that remains to say is thanks for listening to State of Decay. I love that.
Well,
That's another screen cap from the Velocipaster.
wait. The Gandhi quote is in Velocipaster.
Yeah!
That is verbatim a screenshot from Velocipaster.
That's not like put over by somebody in post. That's actually in the film.
No, that is actually in the movie.
I need to watch this movie.
Both of these screenshots have not been edited in any single way.
What? She's five's not edited?
No!
No.
I need to watch this movie, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Kat, do you have the hat trick from the beginning? You know the one. You know the screen cap. I know. I'm talking about.
I don't, but I can get it.
I'm already working on it. Oh, that's a GIF. No, I don't
Can't
want
wait
a
to
GIF.
find that out in after this podcast is over.
No, come on. Load up, little Reddit. There you go. Come on. There you go. Actual screen cap from the movie.
What?
Actual
Yeah.
screen cap from the movie.
VFX car on fire.
They
Yeah!
couldn't afford the VFX, so they just here you go. VFX.
They couldn't
Car on fire.
afford the VFX of a car on fire.
No.
Yeah!
I need to watch this film.
Yeah, you do. You
You need to
do.
watch this film.
Uh,
So, say goodnight, Rainier.
yeah, that about covers it for State of Decay. So, good night, Rainiac. And thank you to the audience for listening to us talk about State of Decay. Thank you to Kat and Jerry for chatting to me about State of Decay. Thank you to Kat for being a good sport about the introductions. I was so proud of myself when I came up with that. It
was really good.
You linked the song, I think, on Frez, and I was like, I know what I'm doing for the intro this time.
Beautiful.
And join us next time for an hour and a half of screaming as Chris Chibnall returns in the Halloween apocalypse, and Series 13 begins in earnest. Until then, save us all, and bye for now.
Pray for us. We'll need it.